Hello and welcome. This is Self-Control, How to Build a Better Life. This is the podcast that seeks to inspire you to take control of your mind, take ownership of your thoughts, so that you can go forward and build that life that you deserve to live. So if you've been following along, you know that we've been talking a lot about mindfulness, and specifically, I'd like to get into now how mindfulness can, in fact, help us with our self-development. If you like the word self-improvement, let's use that. Mindfulness, I think, can be our first step towards building a better life. And, mindfulness means a lot of things to a lot of people. I've defined it my way. I do think that generally it is the project, it is the habit, it is the way of living where we are regularly, routinely turning our thoughts and our feelings inward and asking ourselves, what am I thinking now, and does it serve me? And how am I feeling now, and perhaps why am I feeling this way? And what can I do about it, or am I going to continue this way? Suffice it to say, it is about awareness of our internal processes. Okay, well, that's great. We're talking about becoming more self-aware, becoming willing to look inward and think about what we're thinking. What good is that? What does that do for us? I really want to tell you that a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of sadness, a lot of negative emotion, anger, bitterness, guilt. We all deal with a lot of those all the time, perhaps. A lot of that negative emotion can be alleviated. It can be soothed. It can be first understood and worked with through mindfulness. Mindfulness, I think, is a solution that we are all granted. It is a way of being that we can all step into if we are looking to develop or improve where we're at and who we are. Let's simply say that mindfulness takes place in the present. And for me, I like to ask myself those three questions. Am I focused or thinking about the present moment? Am I thinking and acting in unison? Am I thinking about what I'm doing, quite frankly? And am I practicing self-control? So we've talked a lot about this lately. I encourage you to check out those episodes if you've not already. It'll lay a foundation for mindfulness and how it can help you. We can talk about the theory of mindfulness or what it is, but again, how can we start to make it work for us? How can we make it and use it to develop ourselves and live a better life? Well, we talked about earlier those mindfulness milestones, and those are moments in your life, moments in your day where you check in with yourself, and you'll be able to get into the habit of doing it more and more. But we ask ourselves those three questions. And, for me, when I'm doing something that I always do, right? Those simple, mundane, everyday things, tying shoes, making dinner, that's a great time to check in with yourself and say, what am I thinking about? Am I thinking about what I'm doing? And how's my posture? How's my breathing? How does my body feel? Sometimes first thing in the morning, it's a great time to do that. Social situations, for me, those are very adrenaline-inducing, sometimes panic-inducing, sometimes uncomfortable moments when I'm with groups of people. That's a great time to go, hey, am I clenching the old you-know-what? Am I gripping in some weird way? Am I breathing? Am I focusing on the task at hand? Am I present with these people? And so now let's say we're going forward and we're saying, all right, the answer a lot of the time to these questions is no. I'm not thinking about the present. I'm not thinking about what I'm doing. My posture's gone to hell. My breathing's gone to hell. I don't feel so good a lot of the time. Well, great. Let's start expanding our definition and our understanding of mindfulness to start to be able to say yes to a lot of those questions. And I would say build a better life. So the quest or the challenge or the improvement in my way of being then is when I'm answering no to these questions, when I find that I'm not being mindful, I'm not present, I'm not engaged, I'm thinking myself into negativity. People who meditate call it centering, and it's just to gently sway yourself, bring yourself to the mindful. It's like I'm driving down the road and I am thinking about all this crap I got to do when I get to work. You don't immediately slam on the brakes, so to speak, but you can say, I'm driving and I'm thinking about something that's about to happen in 20 minutes. Okay, it's coming. Can we center ourselves? We are assaulted all the time by distracting things from the outside and distracting thoughts on the inside. It may be our life's quest to start to anticipate those and begin to sway ourselves, gently center ourselves back to the mindful present. And it may be our life's work to sort of tame the mind, tame that desire to be distracted, to focus amidst distraction, and to become controlled and engaged with ourselves in the now. But I think that through doing that over time, we realize that all else besides our present state, our thoughts about the future, our thoughts about the past and all we've done wrong and blah, 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 those are not real. Sure, they happen to us. They live in our memories or we know they're coming, but they're not here now. And, so much of our feeling bad, so much of our negative emotion is our response to those things. And it is our thoughts about other things that drive that negative emotion. So you have to ask yourself at some point, are those thoughts going to be so strong as to distract me from living in the present? Am I going to allow things that truly are not real, at least in the moment, that I have no control over for the most part? Am I going to allow those things to walk me away from center, to make me lose control over the one thing I do have control over, which is myself now? To me, I think it's the most empowering thing about mindfulness is that what can we control? It's ourself now.